Hello, this is Greg from Camnetics with another unscripted demo of GearTeq. I'm just going to run through a few basic operations of GearTeq. First, this is how the screen opens up when you start it, with all the option menus, or the options properties available. Let's run through those. GearTeq settings. You have some settings here for what's going on in the screen when you have a part showing, and then there's also some special settings for bevel gears, settings for working with your CAD system. For example, you can select which CAD version you want to work with, settings for splines. You can do how the tooth is created and major diameter is created, spur gears, action, just different things. And then there's a new thing here for 2010. You can create a worm gear with an advanced tooth form, which is almost accurate enough for manufacturing, although we would prefer you restrict it to rapid prototyping. Let's see, we can go to the registration information. If you have any questions about your registration, go here. You can see what your registration code is. Wouldn't hurt to keep a copy of that somewhere if you need it later on. If you do a reinstall, you will need it. And one thing I did want to point out on the options here, to get to the options, you can always go back to the tools and then options, and brings that up. And there is a new version check on startup. The default is false, so you may want to set that to true. If GearTeq starts up and sees that there's a newer version available on the web, it will notify you. It will not download that version for you. You will need to do that manually. Let's see, let me just add, I'll just add a spur gear, just the default value. You can do things like capture the screen to a file or to the clipboard. You can capture the screen and open it in your default bitmap editor. And makes a mess out of my little demo here, but that's alright. You can actually open up old GearTeq files if you've updated from GearTeq to GearTeq. There's the CAD. This is where you go to work with your CAD system. And then there's options on the view. You can show the line of action. Well, we need two gears to show the line of action. So I just turned that off, so I'll turn that back on, and there's the line of action back on the screen. Let's see, you can do the insert from the menu, basically duplicating these toolbar buttons. Under tools, you can do some work with your hub. You can copy them, paste them, swap them. You can also control your animation speeds, animation direction. You can create data sheets in Excel and text. You can also create an involute XY file in Excel, text, and a DXF file. There's an option for balancing your addendum modification. There's a reset for over and under the pin and span measurements. That way, if you've gone down here and onto the inspection paragraph and you've changed, let's say, your number of teeth to gauge over to 4, and you don't really remember what you changed it to, you can go back up to the tools and reset that span measurement, and it'll set it back to the default value of 3 for that particular gear. There's also company standards. You can set up your own standard for spur gears. So you can have your own addendum, and what you need to do is work with the coefficients. And once you work with those, you can back them all up. You can restore or import them from a safe area. Because each time you reinstall, those things will disappear, and you will need to restore those. There's a quick and dirty spur gear sizing tool here. And then if you need to look to see where GearTeq is installed, you can open it up. It does get installed into a kind of a screwy location, but that's with you'll have to talk to Bill Gates about that one. And we've been over the options under help. There's the help. There's help topics via the internet, and there may be special help for your CAD system. You can also open up the manual as a PDF and the quick start card. And then you can create an email with your registration information. You can read the license agreement, and you can check for updates here too. And it tells me we're running the latest version. And then about GearTeq. And from there you can connect to our website. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.